Hey everyone, it's Nate here, host of the Vinyl Guide podcast, and I have something very cool to share with you. This is the Blue Note Review. Now, you guys may have heard about this. Blue Note Records started their own record club, and this is the introductory issue of what that subscription will get you. Now, opening it up here, you got a little note. It appears they're probably printed from Don Was. That's very nice sentiment here. There is a limit of 1,500 of these, and it comes out every 6 months. Now, this isn't just your ordinary record club filled with vinyl, box filled with vinyl. This is, gosh, this is heavy. This is a set that contains not only vinyl, but all sorts of other goodies that you can also enjoy while you listen to the music. And if you guys know anything about me, if you've been listening to the Vinyl Guide podcast, you know I absolutely love jazz, and Blue Note is perhaps my favorite record label of all time. So let's dig in and find out a little bit more about this Blue Note review, shall we? Alrighty, so I've removed the shrink wrap, and I'm left here with this beautiful, elegant box. This is going to look gorgeous on my shelf when it's all done. And by the way, I should point out that the materials are in beautiful shape. They're very strong, sturdy materials, and they arrive perfectly, I think in part because the box that Blue Note uses to ship these things in is just perfectly made for the set. It cradles it and it comforts it so well. Everything arrives. There's not a single dinged corner. You know, it just arrived in beautiful shape. And this shipped out from New York all the way to Sydney, Australia. So if it arrives to me in this good a shape, it'll certainly arrive to you wherever you're at in the world. All right, let's open this up. Now, I know a bit about the Blue Note Review. I called it a record club, but that's really kind of unfair. It really is a music experience here. The Blue Note Review comes out twice a year. Twice a year you get one of these boxes, and it's filled not only with music, but activities that you could do around the music, things that complement the music listening experience. We're going to start off with this record here, okay? This is a record, Peace, Love, and Fishing. This is current Blue Note artists. Recordings I think were done in the last few years. People on the label, you know, Dr. Lonnie Smith, Terrence Blanchard, Derek Hodge, of course the Wayne Shorter Quartet. This is music that is only available on vinyl. It's not available on any streaming service. It's not available anywhere else except in the Blue Note Review. So I'm looking forward to that. I know none of this music, by the way, but because it's Blue Note, because I trust them so much, I'm sure it's great. This is, by the way, 2 180G records. All right. Sure, that sounds gorgeous. This is, oh, I know what this is. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. This was something that really got my attention. Now, each issue of the Blue Note Review is going to come with a contemporary, a more modern set of Blue Note artists, like I just showed you, and a reissue of some classic Blue Note recordings. Now, this recording from Blue Mitchell, I think it was recorded in '63. It wasn't issued until, I think, the '80s. And I'm not sure. I think I've only seen it on vinyl out of Japan. This is a real treat, and this is directly from the tapes that were recorded probably at Rudy Van Gelder's studio in '63. The musicians that were accompanying Blue Mitchell, Joe Henderson, Leo Wright, Herbie Hancock, Gene Taylor, Roy Brooks. I'm sure this is going to be fantastic. I'm a big Blue Mitchell fan. If you guys haven't heard Graffiti Blues, you need to go out and find yourself a copy. This is early Blue Mitchell, and I'm sure it's great. I can't wait to hear this. If it's anything like the issues that they've done recently, the reissues of the catalog that they put out on vinyl for the 75th anniversary, I'm sure it sounds beautiful then. We had Bernie Grunman on the show a couple of months ago talking about that remastering process and the care they took in transferring the tapes from recordings like these onto vinyl. All right, this is a Turntable Mat, which is very nice. I like the fact that this is cork. Okay, you'll see a lot of turntable mats that are kind of that fuzzy, material, and it's easier to, print something on, to make a logo on, but that fuzz gets all over your records. It starts to break down. It's a big pain in the ass. I never use the fuzzy turntable mats. I only use cork. it transfers the sound, and it's got its own acoustical properties. So this is great. This again shows me Blue Note is really caring about the audio experience. That they used cork, which is not as cheap as the cloth. So well done to Blue Note on that. Oh, this is a little CD here of the record we just showed. I don't even have a CD player, but those of you who do, and those of you who want to listen to it in the car and whatever, it's there. It'll probably just stay here in this little compartment with me. I like this. This is nice. Nice thought. Thank you, Blue Note guys. You're thinking of our experience from beginning all the way through the pack. This. All right. So these, I believe, are the photographs. For those of you who aren't as familiar with the history of Blue Note Records, there were a few kind of key people that started the company. One guy is Alfred Lyon. He's a big jazz fan, and his friend Francis Wolff. Francis Wolff was a great photographer and really took a lot of pictures and imagery from what was happening around the Blue Note scene. In fact, if you look at the Blue Note albums, almost all of them are Francis Wolff photographs. And he's really responsible for a lot of the imagery and the coolness of the Blue Note issues. It looks like Stanley Turrentine there, smoking a cigarette between takes. Wayne Shorter, maybe? I think so. Hard to tell from the back. This is interesting. This is Rudy Van Gelder's studio. This is where they recorded a lot, if not most, of, or maybe even all of the Blue Note sessions. You don't really see this sort of view of the studio. It's always dark, smoky, You don't really see kind of the background, what it looked like for them. And here you kind of see, okay, here's what the ceiling looks like, the wood, the microphones, the stands, that sort of thing. So that's nice. Now these are, I believe, directly off the original negatives. I'm sure they are. Wow, just beautiful. So these are very nice. Again, items you can appreciate while you listen to the records and have the musical experience. Okay, let's get to this. This, my friends, is a scarf. Scarf designed especially for the Blue Note Review by John Varvatos, very popular designer, very popular in fashion. I'm not that familiar with fashion, if any of you have seen me and the way I dress, but Don and the team over at Blue Note, they look at every aspect of the musical experience. You could tell just from the packaging, the materials, the convenience, the usability. They really do think this thing all the way through. And they've included a scarf. Now, people who enjoy Blue Note music are probably also people who like to go out and see live music. When you're out seeing live music, you're out in the elements. And, like your mother always said, put a scarf on. Well, here you go. You got a scarf you can now put around your neck. And a very beautifully designed scarf as well. So that's gorgeous. And this. Okay. This is the Blue Note magazine. I call it Blue Notes. It's a bit like I guess like a newspaper, the way I understand it. Oh, there's Don and Don's scarf. He's always wearing a scarf. The way I look at this is, back in the day, you used to listen to a jazz record, you'd have it on, you'd read the newspaper, right? Now, here's something you could do while you have that jazz record on. And if you go through, lots of articles around jazz music and things like people who enjoy jazz would like to read. There's Wayne Shorter, Jeff Garlin, from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David's agent. He's a big jazz head. And here looks like a conversation between Jeff Garlin and Wayne Shorter. I'm sure that's very entertaining. And with most newspapers, looky here, you got the comics, the funny pages. Okay. So this is something you could essentially look at, read, flip through while you listen to all your new music here in the Blue Note Review. So again, don't call it a record club. It's a music experience. It's an exclusive music experience. There's only 1,500 of these things that are put together every 6 months. So you want to kind of get in quick before they're all snapped up. You can find out more at bluenotereview.com. But again, a very gorgeous package, and I cannot wait to listen to these. I think I'm going to, I'm going to definitely start with that Blue Mitchell though, because I've been dying to hear that. I'm going to leave that one out for the moment. But here we go. All right, the Blue Note review, very impressive. To the folks over at Blue Note who designed this, Don was, and the whole team over there, really well done. You know, the first issue, you really knocked it out of the park. And people can find out more at bluenotereview.com. Make sure to tune into the Vinyl Guide podcast at www.thevinylguide.com. You can subscribe for free. Of course, join our Facebook community, facebook.com/vinylguide, instagram.com/vinylguide. And we put out a new episode each week, always talking about rare records and the artists telling stories behind them. And there we go, the Blue Note Review. Ladies and gentlemen, bluenotereview.com. And until we talk next time, keep spinning. Cheers.